Hello and welcome to week 2 of the NECC season. Today we have Center Gold versus Florida Polytechnic, and we're going to beautiful Lijiang Tower. I'm Blakeu, tank and player and captain for the white team.
And I am Big Soup, or also Blake for the center white team.
The duo Blake and Blake are going to be casting this game as we go to a very fun map of Lijiang. I don't remember actually what the sub map is called.
I think it is Tower. I think that
Not Night Market.
Control Center is the one where you're inside. And I think this is Tower. I could be wrong.
Well, it does indeed have a tower, and so we're going to be calling it Tower. Let's see the comps coming out from both teams. We see a Rush comp coming out from both sides. May, Symmetra both on support. The only change we see is between the tanks, Orisa and Ryan. I'm personally more in favor of the Ryan. Is Runner going to get a sick boop? Ooh, booping back out of the fight early, saving a little, but Who's James goes down first to a nasty wall. Carp letting out his own wall, but booping the May up into the sky as Orisa gets a flank. No spear down as they move forward. Back and forth. Center is taking enough advantage while down 1 DPS. Wall down from Polytechnic. Ooh, but they're moving in quickly. Galvanisha 1 HP. Orisa 1 HP walled off, but she's going to get healed up in time. No one has taken the point yet. Both teams are getting battered, but Who's James gets picked off again. May going down from Polytechnic here. Ooh, Sim 1 HP but not able to get it. Toonie already getting his amplification matrix early in fight, dropping it immediately, and the lamp. Both lamp and wall from both sides, and Toonie getting taken down by this flanking May. But it's going either way. The fight can go either way as Carp builds his blizzard and wall comes out from music on Polytechnic, but that's beat coming out. And finally, after almost maybe a minute and a half of fighting,
first cap. Oh, what that was a crazy.
Carp fell off the map. I don't know if the folks back home heard that, but we heard a very shrill scream coming out from the esports room.
What an insane first fight, and we're not gonna leave it there. We're gonna have an insane second fight.
Big shatter coming out from Galvanisha, taking 2 down and saving his life, but beat coming out from it. He's 1 HP split from his team here as he's getting pushed back. Galvanisha isn't going to make it out alive through this, almost through the TP. That's 2 down from Center, 1 down for Polytechnic. Center's going to try and stall point or maybe get out in time, but they're fighting for it as Carp goes back in. We see Orisa ult and both May Blizzards ready as Carp makes his way out. Toonie getting picked off as Runner continues to fight on the point, stalling for as long as possible.
With the new May update, I think that Runner's going to have a little bit of a run for their money. With that slow being so much more impactful now. But I think the same goes for Aquatic because both teams are running the May.
I like the May pick on both sides, and the reversion from her Deep Freeze passive back to the more damage-focused and hard slow from her primary is really going to be a big boon for May this season. Center College looking to TP in maybe, but they're moving forward, taking a lot of damage as the Sim pushes them. Spear, wall, Galvanisha making out with the lamp, but Orisa ult coming out, and Mail from Florida Polytechnic. That's going to be another fight lost for Center as Florida Polytech takes the lead on the first map.
Still a ton of ult. A ton of ult got used there, and a ton of ults for Center just holding on to. But it's going to be just the beginning of the fight before Florida Polytechnic is going to get theirs as well.
The only thing that they have to be scared about is that wall amplification matrix coming out from the Baptiste from Polytechnic, as they have 3 ults of their own, almost 4. Whoever gets their beat, or opening with beat, walking straight past the wall. Wall going down from Symmetra. Both sides Symmetra, the wall coming out. May Blizzard also coming out, getting 2 picks as we see 3 ultimates dropped from Center to get the point, and only 1 from Florida Polytechnic as Toonie and Who's James clean up and start taking the point and those turrets. We see the point 30% for Center, 70 to Florida Polytech.
That immortality field on Center side, you could see that Galvanisha was just taking like thousands of damage, and he wouldn't fall because of the Toonie's just a really good placed
clutch land.
Immortality field, of course.
But Center has a lot to play off of here. They need to hold the point for as long as possible. They do have the ult advantage as it comes now, but as the fight continues, Polytechnic's going to get more and more ults while they're behind. Luckily, we have a Shatter coming up, and Who's James is building his ult crazy fast, already at 60%. Probably looking for a Shatter after the beat goes out. Shatter coming out, getting 3. The beat, Ajax in the head! As Galvanisha is in their backline, gets lamped out. He's gonna make it out as a massive charge from Galvanisha goes down, but the fight is gonna go to Center.
Carp and James gonna clean that up. It doesn't matter that Galvanizio falls. It just matters that Galvanizio got them
The
that
beat
insane
was
momentum.
dropped
Yeah.
from Runner here, not able to save Galvanizio's life as Florida Polytechnic goes for a touch comp. They're down beat. They only have wall, but Florida Polytechnic is only coming up on May Blizzard. Fury getting taken out early is not good for Florida Polytechnic. As long as Hughes James can stay alive and get his wall off in time as the ball and Tracer are going around. He goes to 1 HP, doesn't get the wall off as May Blizzard comes out. Galvanizio frozen on the edge. But, both supports get frozen. No wall to save them. And it's going to be a tough and close fight with Carp and Galvanizio on point. Carp trying to save his life for as long as possible. Both of them are very low on Florida Polytechnic, but he gets his freeze and he's going to instantly drop it out as Kiri TP's in the point and gets taken out from it. Sombra coming out. What? Oh my god. With the 6 on the point with Blizzard with those 6 snipes.
And that first point is going to go to center with countless just insane fights going back and forth. A very close first map.
My goodness, those fights were long and drawn out.
I think that honestly the little bit of desperation at the end to where Florida Polytechnic was just switching to those fast characters, the Tracer, the Sombra, stuff like that. I think it might have been Tracer or not.
Tracer Sombra ball.
It was
at the end.
Just that ended up being that little bit of an edge because no ults were going to be up and you're playing a lot of really squishy characters and you stepped into my May ult.
Yeah, the
so
desperation play from the Kiri trying to get on point to heal her teammates got her killed out of it. So we see Bastion coming out from Florida Polytechnic here instead of the May. A lot more damage output, but Center's going to have the wall. They're not going to TP to point. Instead, rushing on under into the point. Runner gets taken out immediately by a clutch spear. Wall and window no-dot coming out from Tooney. Galvanizio's going to get himself killed early, and the first fight goes to Florida Polytechnic, the TP into the window. The damage from the Bastion just melting through Center, and the early pick is not what they needed at the beginning of the fight.
Unlike first map, that was an incredibly quick fight. Incredibly quick deaths. They're maybe even going to get back before point is fully capped.
Exactly, and we see the quick swap up before ult charges are built to the Bastion Sig comp that we see Center playing so much nowadays. They just pump out damage after damage into Florida Polytechnic. Rock going straight into the Bastion. No picks from either side, though. As Bastion turn mode comes out from both sides, Galvanizio taking a lot of damage. No shield left. The Sim defenses on point are going to burn through Center if they try to make their way in. Currently, they're at disadvantage, losing time. Almost getting the pick on. A window coming out early from Florida Polytechnic. Tooney not able to build up quite fast enough due to the lost first fight, and Center's just going to have to LOS for as long as they can. A lot of damage coming out, but Center's dodging it effectively, almost coming out with the lamp of their own, which should help more. Early pick onto this Symmetric can actually make a massive influence here. Bastion artillery strike going down, but Carp shrugs it off as they go one after the other. No ultimates from Center side to win this point as we see Bastion and Baffle used from Florida Polytechnic.
That fight was a ton of different just ults being thrown out to counter different things. Window was just stopping Who's James from getting onto site, but then that window goes down and you watch Galvanizio notices it and moves forward.
Seems like we have a quick technical pause from Florida Polytech.
Who knows what this could be about?
Either way, I think the swap up from Center was a master choice here, trying to just swap it up. They really know how to run this almost pseudo rush comp of Sigma. We see the ult advantage is skewed quite heavily in Center's favor, almost coming up on 5 as we only see 2, almost 3 for Florida Polytechnic, and they're not the most engaging of ults. A recent ult isn't going to get much value if there's not a Bastion ult to follow up, and Wall can be a good initiator, but they don't have anything else to follow up. I think Center is favored for at least the next 50% here, but
it is probably going to end up getting them tied, but I think that if you sound barrier at the correct time, that can change a fight entirely, and they're definitely not counted out here for this next fight.
We know Runner is known for his beats, and we're going to see if the better beat happens as it comes up. But the big worry here is that first fight cost Center 42%. At most, they may have 2 or 3 fights if this next one is lost. You see the backside of Lucio for a second, see those cool hair green things.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd call those extensions or what exactly they are.
A very interesting change made in Overwatch 2 where Lucio's hair changes color based off of the music he's playing, speed or heal.
They actually changed Lucio's hair to a bunch of tubes of Go-Gurt.
That's an official fact from the boys in the back.
I think that this
That's how the self healing for Lucio works. Actually,
yeah, he just gives
sips
everybody
on some Gogurt.
yeah, gives everybody some Go-Gurt.
All right, I think we've exhausted many conversation topics here in Gogurt, but hopefully, music is starting to work a little better. Um, let's see. The real worry for center here is a TP coming to point, and we've seen like we're unpausing now as we get back into the match, so I don't have to come up with things to say. Bruner coming back and seeing his tank back into point, but center is very split right now. Going on the backside is a good call. They're making a lot. Window early out, TP onto the point, and wall. TP behind, but the wall can actually come down with the amount of Bastion fire that's coming out. We see the wall go down early from the window Bastion hole. Boom goes the Ariso fate. Boosted sticky grenade from Bastion, and we see point go to center with only one ult used. And barely any ult charge built for Florida Polytechnic, and that's going to give center the lead at the very least here. But they keep building this advantage. Swap to the May on music, no longer going Symmetra, so they have no TP strats available to get past center. Center can probably hold this choke really well from now on. And I'm excited to see what ult they plan to use next. Orisa coming in quick, trying to get it in, and we see the Orisa ult with Beat and Sig. Beat dropped on both sides, but honestly, both of them are extremely effective. Bastion turret mode coming up too. Orisa really low, taking a lot of damage. Bastion ult coming out from Carp, getting the kill on the Orisa, splitting their support, and as they push forward, boop onto the runner off the map. Rock hitting Lucio, going down. That's going to steal the fight for center as they mop up. Ooh, it's a lot of damage on Carp. They're still fighting for a point over here. Florida Polytechnic gets the Bastion trade, taking down two. And center starts taking tons of damage as the BAP does not get killed. Bastion finally going down, but Carp gets taken out by the Sig swap as Florida Polytechnic is going to go for touch after touch here. Rock drop from Sigma Polytechnic, Florida Polytechnic. Runner chasing after the Lucio. Sigma beats Sigma, but one has his teammates coming back. Grass coming out, and he's going to go down next. And that's going to be 99. May coming in a point, stalling. Bastion from Polytechnic coming in, walled off, windowed. But Galvanino's just going to walk up and block them. They can't touch point while he's here. He has another Flux already after using it in the last fight. This fight has been non-ending as Lucio finally getting the touch too. Florida Polytechnic touching after touching point. Rock down from Galvanino, getting the Lucio, and ball walled off, and that point is going to lead the map to Center College.
That was about 30% of just going for a touch, and just one long fight that lasted through, like, I think about 20 seconds of overtime, just Lucio stalling for an incredibly long time.
And we see play the game going to Who's James. Don't think he should have gotten a card for that amazing save at the end of the point there. But we see a lot of damage coming up, a boop coming out from a runner as well, but apparently the boop actually went to Galvanizo, I think.
I'm not quite sure.
I didn't see the score very well, but that leads us to Center 1, Florida Polytechnic 0, and we will be right back as soon as the next map is selected, so stay tuned.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second game between Center Gold and Florida Poly. Now we are on Blizzard World, everybody's favorite map. Nobody dislikes Blizzard World, and I think it's probably one of the best maps in the game. We're going to start with Center on, I believe, is that attack? Is red attack?
Red is indeed attack.
Red is attack.
I was sensing a bit of sarcasm there on that description of Blizzard World.
I have no idea what you could possibly mean.
As an avid player of this game, I sense that you might have some biases on these maps. We see a Sigma Bastion comp coming out from Florida Poly, more pokey than what we usually would see, the Zenyatta and Sojourn, and we see Center College Gold's very common Sigma Bastion Rush comp. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah,
it's not Rush, but it is Rush. They go fast, and they throw rock, and they shoot.
They just got like a really solid 2-0 on the first game, and if it isn't broke, then there's no need to fix
I'm going to fix it. As we get started with the attack by Center College, and we are on a hybrid map, so that means the classic take the first point and then guide the cart the rest of the way. Sojourn Orb coming out early as Center pretty much just ignores it and goes up. Dealing damage to the Sigma shield and moving forward, taking space, Poke giving a lot of ground before shooting at them actually.
Galvanijo just pushing forward almost to sight at this point.
Well, there's not much that it can actually do. The second that Galvanijo puts up his Connect Grass, Rock coming down on Bastion, Lamp coming out already. Turn mode 2, Bastion still so low. Rock missed from Florida Poly here as shields go back. Bastion killed, and that's the biggest pick of the fight, really. That's the main damage output. His Carp goes up to high ground with a wall, I think? Yes, he does, taking up the high ground, sniping off, almost getting the Zen. Dealing so much havoc in the backline here as we see Carp just distracting them. Oh, getting picked off from Qubit here on the Sig as Florida Poly's gonna go in. Lamp coming out super quick from Tooney here. Not able to get the damage off into the Sojourn as she contests. Now Sig on point. Grasp coming out from both sides. Turret mode. There goes the Zen. Sigma 1 HP. Bastion gonna take a ton of damage in wall. Whoa! Applicant. Words.
That was such an unfortunate wall for Florida Poly.
Oh, the amplification matrix was not what they needed to do. They're already 2 down, and the ultimate now wasted. Tooney already 10% back.
I think that Who's James was maybe popped out the turd mode. They popped out the different windows and stuff. Who's James just had every single advantage that he could possibly have there.
Second that Florida Poly's Bastion went down, Center had so much freedom to move. The main source of damage in these comps is the Bastion. Even with the poke damage they have, Florida Poly will kind of fall apart when the amount of damage that's coming out from Center. One single BAP in the Zen isn't going to do a lot against a Bastion me, but Who's James almost going down with the Lamp coming out from Tooney early into the fight could be an issue as Bastion Artillery Strike coming out from Silent, but getting a pick onto the main support of Center Gold. Gonna try and see if he can get Galvanijo out just in time. Who's James getting picked off by the snipe by Music, and Galvanijo and Runner are just gonna barely make it out.
Runner just having to throw out like different damage and can't really help because Lucio just doesn't have that high of a healing output.
Without the BAP on either side, the teams are really stranded with the amount of damage either side can give out. But we see a strong ult advantage coming out from Center. Oh, actually, ult advantage coming out from Florida Poly. Center only having 3 while they're almost onto 4. Actually, Center about to get their own Blizzard as well, which could make a big turn in the fight, but the amount of space that Florida Poly is taking with their poke comp here is forcing Center to wait. Probably waiting for speed boost to go in as we see Gravitic Flux getting 3. Trans having to get popped out early, meaning there's not going to be Trans. Rock going down onto the other Sigma's Gravitic Flux. That's going to be a good fight for Center, but they lost their tank and their Bastion. Sojourn going down, but then beat 2. That's 3 picks. Center can actually make the play here. Aquatic going down, just 2 left. Just the Zen and the Sigma here. Center is struggling to get up top. Carp using his freeze early. Zen trying to get a cheeky kill with the right click here, and he's going to get it. Carp not. Ooh, Doomfist coming out from Galvanijo to get that early touch. Going forward, Bastion 1 HP. Lamp coming out as well. Sojourn ult overclock going out too. Grasp blocks. Sojourn going down early, and Galvanijo taken out by the window turret. But the window from Center can also do a ton of damage too. It's really... Oh, window going down from Center first, and it seems like Florida Poly is going to push them out with the damage. Oh, so close.
Everybody having to back up there a little bit. That was a really big fight that brought them almost to the checkpoint. It was still almost 3 minutes on the clock. I don't think that Center is sweating too much, but looking for this little sidewind down here.
Using the speed of Lucio to get around. They have Blizzard to play around if they need to, and to deny a touch if absolutely necessary. Sigma drops down. Lamp coming out from both sides. Galvanizo. Oh, the freeze and Lamp coming out. Sigma should be killable here. Drop from the Zenyatta can actually be massive here. Getting taken out by Runner. Runner getting a double kill. One on the Bastion, one on the Zed. Runner going for that Sig 2 before it's stolen by Galvanizo as the rest of Florida Poly attempts to get the touch. Snipe out of the air. Headshot from Carp, and Runner takes the last kill. The true DPS of the team here.
Carp only got one of the kills, but you could see Carp was following every single person and making sure that that May freeze was on
40% slow, so long as Carp holds left click on them and then gets the right click headshot in the air on the Baptiste. An absolutely crazy shot.
Everybody moving forward. We have that Bastion ult that could just maybe get a few picks and just take it to the second checkpoint.
The real hope is trying to get that grasp and that lamp out. We see Sinner going forward a little bit, using Bastion ult to take some spaces. Going onto the Zenyatta. Ooh, oh, it takes him out. That's a big pick. The damage output from Florida Poly is going to get low. Walled off, and Lamp not hitting the Sig. He's going to go down here, most definitely. Oh, but the Bastion able to live into the Lamp. Flux coming out from Galvanizo. Going to take out Sigma for sure. Bastion going to get rocked, taken out as well. But Sinner has so much more to push. They see Soldier up top alone, staggering himself, honestly. The longer he takes to die, the less time he has to touch. Carp going up to get the left click, right click, right in the chest. An icicle through the heart. As we see Blizzard again running from Carp. Window from Toonie ready to pop out the second that they come out, and the damage output is so much. Window on both sides. No Lamp from Toonie yet, but they can't touch with the Blizzard and the window from Toonie.
There was just nothing that Florida Poly could really do there. And I think that Center is really hoping that, once again, if it isn't broke, don't fix it, and we can just run that back.
It really is feeling like these comps are extremely feast or famine. Either you win the fight or you don't.
Incredibly.
And the moment that Center starts winning, they push that win, and they get... We saw first fight, they got first point. Second fight that they won, they almost pushed the second completely.
Right.
Third fight, they just kept the momentum up the whole time. Got all the way to the last without stopping. Florida Polytechnic is now going to be on the attack, as Center probably is going to defend a similar comp here, I would assume, as we see mirrors from both sides, but we do see Aquatic hopping onto the Alari, increasing damage output even further than the Zen would, I would think.
Music sticking to the soldier that they picked near the end of that round. Soldier didn't really get an opportunity to shine, and
especially in the last point where he's not.
Right.
It's less open for him to get flanks. Maybe we can see Music get some more value here on the soldier, as Florida Poly is just really leaning in hard to the poke here.
There's definitely some ups and downs. Like that wall from Carp is going to be a lot less useful with just soldier bullets raining in while turret mode is happening. Not really much that they can do. But Galvanizo might just be able to eat up all the bullets and get a second health bar.
Center holding back onto the high ground. Galvanizo only went forward, taking as much space as he can while staying inside of his team. We see Music heading up to the high ground, and Bastion 2, we're going to see some long-range hit-scan battles here. The most favorite to watch. Carp getting the headshot snipe on the Music to start off the round. Carp is just hitting shot after shot on the May.
Just that little choke right there, just throwing icicles in there and getting hit markers.
You know, I would honestly probably wouldn't survive getting hit by an icicle that fast. So
I also doubt that I would survive being hit with an icicle that
and
fast.
Center is out poking the poke here.
You just can't. You can't.
Center rotating over to left side, thinking that Florida Poly is going to make the move, but they aren't moving at all. Center's but they get Aquatic, the only move, as Florida Poly starts moving into point after losing. Get walled off and can't move forward. Turn mode from one side. We see them pushing the advantage with one support down, as Florida Poly sets to hold the S key. Rock coming out, no more grasp and Lamp. 3 kills onto the Bastion here as Soldier runs away to the right, but he's not running fast enough. Maybe he gets out, maybe he doesn't. Center's not going to chase. I think that's the right move here. They just walk back to point and take back their superior position.
With how successful just Carp sitting up there on that little hut and just raining icicles down, I don't think there's any reason to push necessarily.
It looks like Florida Poly is going to take a more standard approach on the right side of point. Both Sigmas brawling it out. Soldier getting the flank, but honestly, what is he gonna do? Florida Poly not make walled off Sigma with a flux coming in soon and grasp. I feel like Galvanese is gonna flux real soon. As window comes out, a lot of damage coming out. Galvanese are getting taken down, and we just see the absolute turn, the feast and the famine.
That Sigma Bastion combo can make or break any fight here. Just a well-placed wall, a well-placed flux, any sort of turret mode that catches somebody off guard is going to win you the fight. Both teams have to play near flawlessly.
Ooh, a rock onto the Alari. Can they get the pick? No, she makes it out with it. Oh, so close. Alari playing extremely aggressive and not getting punished for it. Wall coming out early from center, not having it for the next fight. But Soldier can get taken out, and that's one advantage for center. Let's see if they push their advantage as they wall here. Window here, doing a lot of damage, making Florida Poly back up, and they get another big pick on Aquatic's healing pylon. The most important member of the team, as they're holding in the spawn now. We see 4 ults from center and 4 ults from Florida Poly, as we see only the BAPs trade as they start moving back now. Florida Poly making their move forward, rushing forward. Let's see how center holds this choke. Looks like they're going to go for a bit of a cheeky May play here. Yep, there goes the freeze, walling off the Sigma. Big freeze there. Shattered Sun coming out from Aquatic, but not getting any picks as the beat comes out from Runner. 2 ultimates from center, 1 from Florida Poly. And they mop up the rest of Florida Poly here as they go after. Sig's gonna make it out. Oh, but we see Galvanese and Runner coming up in behind with a wall on the flank, getting the Soldier and the Sigma. Wait, no, the Sigma lives, but the BAP did not. A big play from center, getting that extra 10 seconds in there.
And once again, just resetting back to that comfortable position way in the back.
But now we see the ultimates are stacked more in Florida Poly's favor, and we saw what happened last time they got walled. They just melted through center, and center's holding close here. Flux coming out from Florida Poly, a lot of damage coming out, but the lamp is able to save everyone's life. Massive plays as Runner gets taken out by Music here, going into the 4v5 instead of while the fight's been. 3 ults coming out from Florida Poly, as Carp is just going to stall for as long as he can. We do see the fight won, but center didn't expend any resources and have 2 minutes 30 left on the entirety of Streets phase.
Burnt a ton of time without Florida Poly really be able to make any progress.
The only ultimate that center not wasted, but used here was Beat, and I think it's a fair trade already building back. And we see window from both BAPs. I'm going to call it here. Both BAPs are going to window at the same time as they always do.
And those Bastions are going to look for that windowed turret.
Flux coming out from Galvanizo, getting the snipe onto the BAP in the backline. Artillery mode coming out too. Galvanizo taking a lot of damage. Wall coming out, blocking the Sigma as he tries to take as much damage as he can, but Center's going to take the fight with the double ult combo. Soldier going to make it out maybe, but Center's going to try and get the flank around, but he goes around on the dock, saving his own life. I will say Carp got another headshot kill onto the Bastion.
Carp has been on point with everything. The freeze for the slow, the headshots, and the ultimates.
We see Blizzard coming up again already, and we have Window, almost another beat. We see Shattered Sun and Window from Florida Poly, but nothing else coming up. I'd say this is solidly in Center's favor here. Center rotates around to the main, trying to deal some damage while they move across. Florida Poly making some time into the cart, but that's Lamp going out early. BAP's going to get taken out in the center. Just walking towards a Sigma alone on point. Grasp going out. Carp, who's James getting picked early? Turbo from Carp. He's going to leave it early and get the pick with Runner on his side. Gets the Alari too with the extra damage. Wall coming out from... Ooh, Carp is running away with this game here, just enabled by Runner's speed and aggression.
Still holding on to a ton of ults. Who's James did die there, but Who's James, like...
It's a classic of Who's James to die first.
Who's James fell off the top, died, and then it just made room for Carp to take that role as top damage.
Exactly. It was all planned, in fact.
Yeah.
The plan is to give Carp that confidence. Galvanizo going to get up 800 HP, blocking Shattered Sun with the shield as the Lamp comes out, but they're not doing any damage to Galvanizo as he's up in their face, and he finally drops down at full HP. Artillery strike coming out, but the May Blizzard blocking off the entirety of the team. She makes it out with 50 HP. Runner dropping the beat, not getting everyone on the team, but It doesn't seem like it's actually saves Who's James from the enemy flux. And Center is having a bit of a scrappy fight here, taking a lot of damage, but they have artillery mode soon. No turret mode. Who's James has 16 HP living. Oh, big, oh, massive lift, but stunned out of the air by the opposing Sigma. Looks like Florida Poly might take this, but Carp is going to try and stall as long as he can, but he can't touch in time. So Carp and Runner are currently stepped. They didn't touch it in time. And the best point here is artillery strike coming out from Who's James. They're going to fight this point. Carp is stalling for as long as he can.
Oh,
that corpse went up into space.
It did.
Unfortunately, we cannot subdue it, but whenever you die on May and your wall is being shot up, you go flying into the stratosphere. And we see Florida Poly only with 1 minute left in the inside last phase of Blizzard World.
Even if they do make it to the third point here, it's going to go to an overtime that's heavily in Center's favor.
Ooh, Galvanese are taking a lot of damage in the front, though. Hopefully, Center can hold for as long as possible, get that overtime. It's not guaranteed, though, but Window coming out from the Toonie soon with the opposite map, not having Window yet, so massive nade coming out, dealing a ton of damage. Shattered Sun coming out from the Alari, but there's no damage. Oh, Who's James actually, and Toonie getting taken out by Shattered Sun, and Center is starting to lose the fight. It's turning away from his favor. Bap taken down, only Alari, and Galvanese are going to try and stall as long as he can, but that's actually not good for Center. They have one more touch before the overtime starts. Runner making it out with the beat. We see Galvanisio almost ready for another Gravitic Flux, almost another Blizzard, and another Artillery Strike coming out for Center. But we see Window, Artillery Strike coming out from Silent 85. Speed Boost having to come out, but none of Center getting taken out. B coming out, saving Galvanisio's life, as well as the Window. A lot of damage coming out. Galvanisio get taken out, though. The Window is doing so much damage for Florida Poly, and the overtime goes to Florida Poly, and we have 2:17 on the clock for Center.
It's not that much of a lead for Center, and it's definitely still winnable for both teams, but with how we've seen the different defense and the offense, Center just gets that momentum a little bit faster, and I think it might lead to...
This situation also favors Center on the attack. Since it went over to overtime, I'm fairly certain that the only thing that Center needs to win this is to get the first tick of points.
That's true. I always forget. Which one is the game mode to where you're automatically given a minute in overtime, no matter what?
If both sides got to overtime.
If both do?
I believe. Or under a minute. If Center had gotten to 0:59, they would have to play as far as they could.
I see.
I believe since they had more than a minute and it went to overtime for Florida Poly, the first tick on this point should get Center the win, but don't quote me on that. And I think this favors Center heavily. Their attack was a lot stronger than Florida Poly's, and they can really, in 2 minutes, 17 seconds, they can build up every ult. Almost 2 windows, I would bet. So Florida Poly's going to have to do a lot here.
I think that just with how strong Runner is at just getting everybody in and onto point, Galvanizio is just going to get onto point before like the 2 minutes even hits.
Really, the most important thing in the early fight is trying not to get picked early and seeing which BAP uses their lamp first. We see a Symmetra coming out on the music, as well as Mercy trying to probably pocket that Bastion to get even more damage output. We're going to see how it works out for Florida Poly with no changes. Turbo coming out early from Florida Poly, but that just gives Center time to a few more seconds. They back up, and then they go in. Wall coming out from Center. Rock going on to the Bastion, but not taking any kills. But all the turrets are down. Rock coming out from Center Poly. Turbo, but Center didn't get any picks, not the value they needed. They need to back up. Bastion 1 HP. Lamp coming out from Florida Poly. That is what Center is waiting for. Ooh, that shield was so clutch on that nade. But now they're going to go forward with the wall again. Walling off the high ground. Bastion taking so much damage. Ooh, TP out from the Symmetra, and Galvanizio taking a lot of damage himself. No picks from outside. Music getting taken out by Runner, and the Window coming out early from Toonie. Window coming out from Aquatic as well. Galvanizio just going back and forth. At that point, it's going to go to Center.
What a fantastic, just incredibly long fight. I think that Florida Poly drug that out for as long as they possibly could have.
They were in a situation where they were heavily disadvantaged based off of just comp, but they were able to take the time and stall out for as long as they could.
Definitely put the fear in Center a little bit.
Really, they could have turned the fight around if they got the Window earlier from their BAF, but just the damage from Bastion is so much here. And the second map will go to Center Gold. We will be going to our third map on Flashpoint in just a little bit, so please stick with us. All right, we are going to the third map of this series, which is unfortunately forced to be the new game mode Flashpoint, and we are on Not So Beautiful Saravasa. I am unbiased in this completely, by the way, but we are playing the Flashpoint game mode, which is control point, but faster, and there's 5 of them. I'm going to guess that Center is going to run a very similar comp, maybe a Queen instead of the Sig, but otherwise very similar. Excited to see what comp comes out from Florida Poly. We see the Sigma Rush comp from both sides. A Symmetra instead of May for Florida Poly, though.
I think that both can be incredibly impactful. just if they get onto site, that Mei is going to secure that nobody gets in without being 40% slowed, and just some really well placed turrets might be able to get a pick or at least some damage onto Galvanijo for. Uh,
Sorry about that. Our cameraman was just going very slowly around characters. It was a little bit funny. As we head on to the start of the point, I honestly am in the opinion that the Mei is better suited here. The TP can be nice, but the wall is going to make a lot of difference here in just separating people and forcing out abilities. Wall coming out early, not getting the traction that it needs, but Lamb coming out early, Bap taken out as well as Bastion. That's going to go to center already. This fight is already over.
So many picks that just Florida Poly cannot do anything about.
Even with a subpar wall there, Center was able to make so much space, force out the cooldown of both turret mode and lamp, and it's just a lot of damage overall. And the first point's going to go to center, and that means at least 50% for center, because this game mode is very fun to play. And we see them doing their basic defense as Florida Poly makes around the right side. A big nade coming out, doing a lot of damage on both the supports, but they're able to survive just barely. And we're going to see a wall coming out from Carp. He's ready for it. He's raring to go, and it comes out not quite the value that it needs, dropping it instantly for the cooldown. We're going to see what space. Window coming out super early. Wall coming out from the Mei, but the amount of damage coming out from center is just going to force them back, make them use lamp, but we do see another window from Wall. Big wall from Carp here. Going to split them up. At the very least, look at the percentages as Sigma uses his own. Almost getting rocked. Oh my lord. And a window coming out. That's a bunch of ults from Florida Poly. It's going to go down. Center is going to get taken out, but they're going to get at least 90%. Runner, instead of the stall, is going to make his way out with a 96% on the point.
Everybody loves Flashpoint.
It has been at least like 3 minutes on this map.
I think that that was a really nice wall to counter the window, and if Galvanijo had hit that rock,
things would have played extremely differently.
Might have been a little bit more in center's favor. It would have definitely been something to talk about.
An insane skill shot. Wall blocking off the Bastion. Mayo coming out and beat from center side. Galvanijo holds on, getting both Mei and Bastion as the Bastion ult comes out. And a lot of damage. Wall coming out as well. This can go either way, but massive Bastion ult taking out Carp. It's just Galvanijo on point, but he's doing so much damage, taking out the Mei. Just another Sigma on point as artillery strike comes out too. Rock not getting the pick he needs, but it's still on the point in for Florida Poly. Who's James getting picked out too? Cubit doing so much here off just one. The bat piece on the top is healing so much, but Cubit almost won. Lamp going down as the tank swamp, and Galvanijo takes him out. Bap 1 HP, and the point's gonna go to center, and if they can't get the touch. Bap down, and they're gonna try and get touched desperately, but this is another rock onto the Lucio. Aquatic is not having a fun time so long as Galvanijo is around, and that 8-second cooldown is down. They are just stalling point. I think Florida Poly is building ultimates for center at this point with the amount of stalling they did there.
I want to apologize. I think maybe Galvanijo heard me talking a little bit of smack about that rock, that missed rock, and had to show me up.
One missed rock is an opportunity for 7 more kill shots. And that is an ancient Overwatch proverb. You can ask the boys in the back on that one. As center quickly and concisely takes control of the point on the right side of Suravasa. I don't know these individual point names, but they're taking the space. Point unlocks an 8. Sig dropping early and no shield. Turret mode coming out. Window as well. Both walls. Mei getting sniped by the window from Bap. Rock coming out, hitting nothing. But they are able to clean up the fight either way as Cubit slowly floats his way back. Cooney falls off the edge. And we see the point go to center, and we already see almost 15% go by.
These first initial fights are always super interesting to watch as you just see an inch is given and a mile is taken.
Exactly. The first fight in Flashpoint is the most important for each point as they back up, probably looking to play with the male. Carp almost going down, forcing the freeze and wall out from the enemy Mei. Big ult going into the window. Beat going down, but a lot of freezes from center as that's 3 of them frozen from Carp there. Another blizzard coming out from the enemy Mei. They're going to get counterattacks as artillery strike going down, taking out who from Who's James. It's just the Sigma and Who's James. That's going to go to the Sigma though, but
72%.
Almost. We see the Sigma emoting on point as well, as honestly well deserved for saving the fight there for Florida Poly. We see 80% for Sinner though. Already in his favor. We see Runner speeding across his teammates as they respawn. Let's look at the ults here. We have Beat and Flux, and only Flux out. Almost Artillery Strike for Florida Poly. I think this goes in Sinner's favor unless Runner gets taken out early. That's one ultimate Sinner doesn't have, and they have to back out. And that's probably 30-40% lost on the point. And what was already an advantage for Center now turns to a last touch scenario with a single pick.
This very much might just be in overtime.
Luckily enough, Lucio's faster, able to get quickly. Flux, Gravitic's Flux coming out quick, getting the Lucio and the Bastion. Lamp coming out, forced to come out. Oh! Getting off the rock. That was so close. Galvanijo desperate to redeem himself after last time. Runner going onto the Baptiste, getting knocked off the map.
Holding for that boom.
Runner going in DPS mode. No ice block from the May, and we just see the absolute bloodthirst in Runner's eye here. He just wants to get up there and quick as the stall. Another pick from Runner. He is the DPS of our dreams.
I almost want I want this map to keep going for longer simply because I want
Getting the last touch.
No, absolutely not.
Another headshot snipe from Carp. Sorry to interrupt you there. We see the next point.
I was saying I want Galvanijo to eventually hit that Flux Rock.
The second that Flux Rock goes, we're both going crazy. We see Sinner slowly going over to the next point with the spawn actually looking like it's in favor of Florida Poly here, unlike last time. But we're going to see Sinner try their best to pick next point. They have a window, and Florida Poly doesn't. The maps are desynced. That's been in Sinner's favor almost every time. And we know we have a window. We're going to use it. Wall going down, window coming out too. Bastion turn mode, having to break it. But a lot of damage coming out from Sinner Gold. Sigma already half HP. Bastion turn mode coming out from the other side. But Sinner's not getting the damage. Pick from the grenade through the window, though. That's all you need when the main heal goes down. And Sigma alone on point. It doesn't matter what picks get happen for Florida Poly here. They're going to get taken out. May trying to get the pick onto Runner, but not quite. We see third point going to Sinner Gold once again.
Every time that the window goes down, they try to use the May wall to block it, but it just doesn't do anything. It almost just makes a nice wall that Who's James can just shoot through and not really have to worry about anything.
Some nice little flank protectors on either side once he breaks that middle pillar. It may be a little chilly over there, but he's a robot, so it doesn't really matter. We see if Florida Poly goes down this hallway, they're going to get a massive artillery strike rain down on them. They're going to move over to the left side, wall off into the Sigma. Sigma split from his team already, almost seeing an Blizzard coming out from... Ooh, Blizzard does come out from the other side. Galvanizo getting taken down, and that's probably... No! A snipe onto the main support from Carp, though, as Lucio's in the backline, going to get taken out by Runner. This isn't a good fight for Center, but they got some trades at the very least. Carp going down.
I know that it was going through Carp's head of, oh, maybe if I ult right now, I might be able to get the 3-piece, but... knew that it was probably safer just to let them have
totally
that point.
Should have ulted. He would have gotten it every
definitely
time.
could have ulted. I think that would have been a nice little clip.
We do see a major ult advantage for Florida Poly, and the points are ticking up as well. But Center really only needs one fight, because we've seen time after time again, once Center gets that last 90%, Florida Poly goes into the panic touch state, and they don't get things done. Artillery strike dodged deftly by Who's James here. Weaving in and out. Artillery strike of his own coming in. It's the entirety of Florida Poly is all together. Gonna take a lot of damage from that. Forcing out the... Oh, a rock onto Galvanizo, but B coming out. But that's a dead Bastion for sure, as well as a dead Bap. That's gonna go for Center's favor. As another Flux comes out, but no rock from Galvanizo is available, so he can't avenge himself. Massive picks onto Center from... It's only two left on Center's side. Come on. Rock! Gonna take him out. Come on, Carp, you got him! 8 HP. Yes, no, he didn't use his cryo freeze in time, and the point's gonna go to Florida Poly. That was so close.
Very close, but once again, Flashpoint got 5 whole points to go through.
That
so
Lux from Qubit was absolutely massive in that fight, dealing well over 600 damage to the collective of Center's team and just cleaning up.
I think that was definitely an edge that they really needed in order to stay not only in this game but in this series.
We do see the baffle. We see a Mortar swap from Eero over here. So they're down the utility of a lamp, which has actually been very major the entire time. Wall goes down, a lot of damage coming out. May on the right side, Sigma on left. They take out the Sigma early, and that's going to be Sinner's favor, but we've seen Florida Poly come back from situations like this before. May getting sniped by Who's James, though. Runner going down, only one support on point, as the Lucio goes back and forth, trying to do what damage he can, stalling out the point, but the point goes to Sinner. Mora fading away, leaving Soldier alone, but... Oh, Mora played it to the wrong side, though. Maybe can get the pick. Soldier alone. Rock getting booped back by the Bastion grenade. Music hops off the map. Galvanisha respectfully lets him get the anti-stagger.
What a lovely little swan dive that Soldier did, just leaping off in order to prevent that.
You know, they say you can never hit the legs, and it's true, especially when you physically cannot get hit after you die. Looking at the ults here, we do see Blizzard coming out from Silent 85, and we saw last time it take out a lot from Center, so let's see how it comes out soon. Artillery Strike coming out from Who's James, though. Big Lamp coming out from Eero, but Blizzard taking out 2 of Center's. Lamp saving Who's James, not enough in time. 3 picks from Florida Poly. As Carp kind of fights on the edge, but the point is going to get contested by Runner. We see 87% for Center here.
A little bit of deja
77%.
vu. A little bit of deja vu, hitting that 70-something mark and then having to hand it over to the other team.
But this situation looks a lot more in Center's favor. They are coming up near 4 ults for Florida Poly, but we have 3 on deck already, and we've seen Tooney. He builds those windows awfully fast. If I was Center, I want to ult, and I want to ult fast before they get there. So you already see 3 from Florida Poly. Wall coming out, Rock going down, so that gives free reign for the... Oh, Flux! Booped into the Flux, a 4-man Flux into the freeze from May. Blizzard is going to do so much damage as the window comes out from Florida Poly, but Center stays alive with their own window, doing so much damage, and this fight's going to go to Center. And Florida Poly now enters emergency last touch situation. 20% on Flashpoint is like 5% on Control Point. As Center College goes forward as fast as possible, their fastest players are staggered. The Lucio isn't going to get on time. I don't think Florida Poly has a touch here. So the map, Lucio on the way, Flux onto 2, but the map goes to Center Gold, and that's going to be a 3-0 for the second week of NECC.
A wonderful game from both Center Gold and for Florida Poly. Really well-played fights.
Who is James stealing play of the game again?
That's a hat trick. 3 in a row.
Nice little hat trick from Who's James. Oh, this is at the very beginning, making sure that those early picks went to good use.
Really, a lot of momentum was built over the course of the game for Center, I think. It was always on the back foot for Florida Poly. But even on the back foot, they were able to make some good plays and take points. But that is going to end it for this week. Thank you all for coming up and showing your support. We will always be here with more esports games. I think on Monday, Friday even.
Yeah, we got one tomorrow.
We got Rocket League tomorrow. Show up for that one. Thank you all. Good night.